In 1991, and I want to quote Terita's entry in the Encyclopedia Iranica, which he wrote with David Menashiri, an Israeli. And you know, Dr. Terita Parsi is an expert on Israel-Iran relations. So in his entry in Iran, in Encyclopedia Iranica, he says, with David Menashiri, who's an Israeli and not a supporter of Iran, that when in 1990, Israel decided to start the talks with the Arabs, the Madrid talks and the Oslo talks, Prime Minister Rabin decided to replace the enemy in order to convince the Israeli populace that it needed to talk to the Arabs. And that enemy was Iran. So Israel started securitization of Iran, first inside Israel, in the first half of the 90s, then internationally. Netanyahu went to US Congress in 1997 and stated before US Congress in 1997 that Iran was 3 years away from a nuclear bomb, and before the turn of century, Iran would have a nuclear bomb. That was the securitization in the international community. Then, in order to subvert the resistance in the region, the United States came to the region, Secretary Clinton, I think, and it was Condoleezza Rice, creating the coalition of the moderates in the region, portraying Iran as the enemy instead of the Israelis. Now, Iran, as they say, are friends in Hezbollah, are involved with their own security. Hamas, Islamic Jihad, have their own trouble. Why is it, as you say, the problems in the region persist? Is Gaza genocide our fault? Or the fact that after many decades, now Israel comes up with the plan for Greater Middle East? Isn't it time for our Arab friends to wake up and smell the coffee? We want to work with the Arabs. We have paid a heavy price. I tell you, not a single shot has been fired in the past 45 years by any of our so-called proxies in order to advance our interests. They have been fighting for their own interests, and we have been paying. Iran has paid, and we are resentful to our Arab friends because we supported the Arab cause more than the Arabs did. And we get to be blamed. We supported Palestine more than any Arab country supported Palestine. You know, I'm under 2 American designations. Why? Why am I under 2 American designations? Personally, did I kill anybody? No, just because Netanyahu wanted me to be under American designation. So which Arab is under American designation because of Netanyahu's request? Tell me, why do we have to be blamed for problems that are caused by Israel? Our friends in the region have everything to gain through cooperation with Iran. We have no desire. We are the biggest country in the region. We have no territorial ambitions against our friends in the region. They're talking about our territory. We're not talking about their territory. We don't have territorial ambitions against our friends in the region. We do not want access to the high seas as Saddam Hussein wanted. We do not have, every GCC country has territorial disputes with each other. Now my friend is talking about Arash oil fields which is disputed between Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, and he says this is Kuwaiti-Saudi business. Why is it Kuwaiti-Saudi business? Because you say so. This is...
Because international law says so.
No, not because international law says so. Every time, my friend, every time,
you don't need to shout.
every time we went to talk about the Arash oil feed, it was Kuwait that refused to talk, not Iran.
Relax. You don't need to be nervous.
The Secretary General a chance to respond. And we have only about a minute left. Go ahead.
Well, he took 10 minutes, my friend Zarif. You're very generous with him.
Okay, 2 minutes. You want.
Seriously, what Israel is doing in the region is extremely ridiculous. What Israel has been doing since October of 2023 is something that we, the Arab countries, the biggest supporter for Palestine, unlike what my friend here says, we have been explaining it to the international community, and they did not realize until maybe 50,000 Palestinians died. Then the international community woke up and saw what Israel has been doing to the Palestinian people and to the stability of the region. This is what we have been saying. This is what we are saying. It is an international crisis. It's not a regional crisis. We saw when President Trump interfered seriously, there is a hope for reaching stability and a continued ceasefire there. But without this Security Council being active, being really active, we will not reach what we can reach with the Palestinian people. Thank you.
Now, let me just make one point, and that is the point that the British ambassador made in the Security Council in 1971. And they said, let's not open that Pandora's box, because Arab countries in the Persian Gulf will not be pleased with the outcome of opening what happened in 1967 to 1971. Nobody talks about their territory. Nobody goes to International Court of Justice on their own territory. And we are affronted when people talk about our territory as if we owe them anything. Something happened in our region in the 1970s. Let's not open that box, because there are a lot of Iranians who believe that they were wronged when our 19th province was separated from Iran in the same deal that gave us our islands back. So, as I said, if we want to talk about the past, the GCC owes Iran about $100 billion that they paid to Saddam Hussein in order to bomb us with chemical weapons. GCC paid Saddam Hussein $100 billion. But we're not coming to the doors of the GCC every other day telling them, pay us the money, pay us $1,000 billion of damages that were caused by Saddam Hussein, whom you supported. But when he attacked you, we came to your support. We came to the GCC's support. We came to you, to the Kuwaiti support, when Saddam Hussein attacked you and overnight took over your entire country. We did not start and say they deserve it. We could have said that, because he came to us first. He came to us and said, why don't we cooperate? Because I'm going to control the entire southern Persian Gulf. Why don't you cooperate with us? We said, no. Although the Kuwaitis were your biggest supporters, although they allowed you to use Bubiyan to export your oil, although they brought the Americans to our region and they downed our airplane, but we will not allow you to take over Kuwait. We will support Kuwait. We will allow the Kuwaitis to come to our region. So let's stop talking about the past. Talk about the future. President Rouhani came to Kuwait on the late Amir's proposal with his three conditions, which I thought were impolite. And I told your foreign minister at that time that it was impolite. But President Rouhani came and accepted those. You went to Manama. The king of Bahrain said, Trump has assumed office. Let him deal with Iran, then we will deal with Iran from the position of strength. So let's not talk about that. We wrote the...
Mr. Zarif, please finish the story. While Kuwait was...
That was the story that Kuwait made. You see...
See, I didn't interrupt you.
My brother. That was the story.
Zarif,
I listened to you, my brother.
Do you remember the
I
Abdeli cell
listened to you.
that we caught in Kuwait while we were trying to help
that
out
story,
and make...
that
What do you mean Kuwait made... What
that
do you mean?
story,
Okay,
that
hold on,
story
hold on.
belonged
Okay.
to the Iraq war. That story was 18 years old. What had happened just a few days before that was the King of Bahrain saying in Manama, I mean, the late Amir was exuberant when we offered him the letter. But then he went to Manama and the King of Bahrain...
That's not correct, my friend. That's not correct. We stopped the mediation because of the Iranian cell that was...
That was your excuse, my friend.
Not mine.
That was
That's
the
the
excuse,
truth.
the reason.
Kuwait doesn't
The
lie.
reason.
Kuwait
I'm
doesn't lie.
gonna pause this at this point.